Reimagine. If you could reimagine the world economy according to God's money values, what would it look like? What values would shape the way we as a global community use money?
This question of reimagining the world economy aligned with God's money values is exciting to me. In that world, no one would be hungry or homeless. No one would work for less than a living wage. Businesses would be geared to pay their employees well and equally. CEOs would make a fair wage for their business acumen and productivity, but not an astronomical amount, because each company would also have a charity that they actively support, a cause that they championed. Greed would not be the driving force in the economy as it is today. Honesty and integrity would cause workers to do the very best possible job with their hands and their minds each day, so that the customer would receive an excellent product or service that would last. Healthcare would not be an issue and cost would be covered. Yet there would be fewer illnesses because there would not be malnutrition or violence caused by hunger and anger from always being pushed to the margins of society. Mental illness issues would be handled with the intense care they deserve, because in God's economy, the goal would be to bring everyone to the table, regardless of race, creed, religion, status, or role in society. An attitude of abundance and a realization that if one succeeds, many can succeed when we all work together toward a common goal. This swivel to God's economy may not happen in our lifetime, but each of us in our own little corner of the world can help bring it about in small but significant ways.
The world's economy would look very different if it followed God's values. There would be no military-industrial complex. Governments would use resources to improve people's lives in a myriad of ways, from healthcare to education, to nutrition, to housing. In other words, monies would be used to make life better for everyone. God's value of respecting the dignity of all living creatures would be evidenced in every aspect of society. And the world's economy would greatly value God's creation. We would be good stewards of our environment. The specter of a looming climate crisis would no longer threaten humanity.
I wish for a world where there was a more even distribution of resources. I am struck by the number of storage facilities being built all over our area. People need to rent space to store all the things that can't fit into their houses or garage. This while there are people at intersections holding up signs asking for donations of food or opportunity to do some kind of work. I see people every week coming to the food pantry who live in their car or in a tent on what little open space there is in our area. And I'm afraid that will be very soon developed and most certainly will not become affordable housing.
My utopia of an economy is a tweet. Anybody can be rich, but nobody should be poor. Have you ever said to someone asking for money, "I'm sorry, I don't have more to give"? Suppose I had money, but giving would cut into my wants. And whoever's struggling and needs the fundraiser, that's not my responsibility. Anyone can be rich. Or if I had a little money, but giving would cut into my needs, like just enough gas to get through the week. If I gave it over, he would eat one meal and then we'd both be desperate. No one can be rich. Or if I was doing well, but was only carrying a few dollars in fruit from lunch, I can give away my last dollar bill and all my food without a care in the world, because it's not really my last dollar altogether. And there's all the food and comfort I could ask for at home. Anybody can be rich, but nobody should be poor. How much would you be free to give if healthcare treatment was already covered by one tax? How much would you be free to give if homelessness wasn't a fear because a basic standard of living was guaranteed? But if you work hard and do well in your career, then enjoy thriving. Thriving, not excess. You see, rich people do donate, and they're proud of that. But if someone gave and still had enough left over to solve an entire village's problems single-handedly, it wouldn't be a question of how do they sleep at night, because in my vision of a godly kingdom, someone godly wouldn't let the sun go down with that much excess while anyone else is still suffering.